Amid the scorching grasslands where lions fight for royalty, one name has become legendary: Makulu. Across the vast plains of Sabi Sands, South Africa, a figure walks with pride. A massive body, a thick dark mane as a symbol of absolute power. Makulu was the greatest leader of the Mapogo, the most notorious lion coalition ever to spread terror across Africa. Makulu is no ordinary lion. He was the one who changed history, an unrivaled warrior, a conqueror who wrote legends with claws and blood. Under his leadership, the Mapogo were not just a pride of lions, but a storm that swept away all enemies in their path and wiped out other prides in the blink of an eye. In the wild, a solitary male lion rarely survives for long. But when the strongest join forces, they can change history. And thus the Mapogo Alliance was born, a group of male lions that established the fiercest reign in Kruger National Park, spreading terror throughout the Sabi Sands region. This is not just an alliance, but a storm that has swept away all enemies in its path. Every legend has a starting point, and so does Mapogo. Six male lions, Makulu, Rasta, Scar, Pretty Boy, Kinky Tail, and MRT, born from the Spartan Idlefield pride, where they were raised by the most experienced predators. They grew up together, learning to hunt, fight, and survive. But not all of them share the same blood. Makulu, who later became the supreme leader, was not a blood brother to the other 5 individuals. He came from a different pride, a stranger among the young warriors. Nevertheless, Makulu's strength and intelligence helped him gain acceptance, becoming the first lion to lead the coalition to the top. Unlike the usual lion coalitions formed by 2 or 3 individuals, Mapogo is a special alliance, an army of 6 warriors ready to devastate any territory they set foot in. And as they mature, the nightmare of Sabi Sands begins. The sun was high in the sky, casting a golden glow over the Sabi Sands grasslands. The wind blew gently through the tall grass, carrying the warmth of the earth and the scent of wild creatures. In the distance, a massive herd of wild buffalo moved slowly, hundreds of individuals densely packed together like an impregnable fortress. The adult buffalo, with their large bodies and sharp curved horns, grouped together to protect their young and weak calves. They are neither in a hurry nor afraid, because in the wild they are among the most difficult animals to bring down. In the sky, a flock of vultures circled overhead, patiently waiting for the battle unfolding below. The impalas were farther away, their agile legs ready to flee at any moment. In the middle of the scene, 6 figures moved silently like warriors of death. Makulu led the way, his sharp eyes scanning the herd, watching each individual, searching for weakness. Behind him, Rasta, Scar, Pretty Boy, Kinky Tail, and MRT spread out, surrounding the giant prey. Today, the coalition brings cubs and lionesses to join the hunt. Without hurry or haste, they are supreme predators who know very well that even the slightest mistake could cost them their lives beneath those deadly horns. The buffalo herd gradually sensed the danger and gathered into a defensive circle. The leading males moved forward, blocking the calves and the females. The confrontation has begun. The Mapogo warriors, with their sharp claws and brutal tactics, are ready to take on one of the greatest challenges in nature. In an instant, the hunt ended successfully. The lions roared with satisfaction before starting their meal. Makulu, as the leader, took the first step, while the other members joined the feast on the savannah one by one. The air was filled with satisfaction after a challenging hunt. In the distance, the scavengers watched silently from the bushes, waiting for their chance. The hyenas kept a safe distance, while the vultures patiently circled above them. However, despite their curiosity and fascination, not a single person dared to venture too close to the scene. The reason for this caution was clear. The Mapogo Coalition, a legendary group of lions known throughout the region for their unmatched strength, unwavering resilience, and commanding presence, still occupied the area. Their reputation for dominance and power was enough to instill a deep sense of respect and even fear in anyone who witnessed them. As a result, everyone kept a safe distance, quietly observing the majestic lions from afar, fully aware that the Mapogo Coalition remained a formidable force to be reckoned with. The sun slowly set behind the trees, casting a bright orange glow over the vast grasslands. 6 Mapogo warriors, after a long day, lay down to rest, enjoying a rare moment of peace. Tonight, the sands of Sabi still belong to them, the true rulers of the wilderness. For many years, Mapogo had virtually no competition. They ruled with absolute power, annihilating any other pride in their path. But no empire lasts forever. Majingilain was not like the weak ones Mapogo had defeated before. They were younger, had clearer tactics, and most importantly, they vastly outnumbered them. One morning in 2010, Majingilain entered Mapogo territory. Majingilain, a coalition of 5 young and determined male lions, had set foot in the ruler's territory. Unlike the weak rivals who had been defeated before, the Majingilain had the advantage of numbers, tactics, and a single goal: to overthrow Mapogo and seize this fertile land. As the ground trembled with the footsteps of the newcomers, Kinki Tail and Emeerete, 2 of Mapogo's fiercest members, quickly appeared. They do not hesitate. For years Mapogo has ruled with absolute power, and today is no exception. But the Majingilain are not simply wandering lions in search of territory. They had waited patiently for the right moment to strike. They had carefully planned every move, and now, with 5 powerful lions facing only 2 defenders, the odds were clearly stacked against them. The fierce battle erupted suddenly, accompanied by thunderous roars that echoed loudly across the wide open fields. Quinquital, one of the strongest warriors, fought back with all the strength he had. But thanks to the perfect coordination of the Majingilain, the tide of the battle gradually shifted toward the challengers. While Mr. T was forced to retreat to save his life, King Keytail was besieged. First time in years, a member of Mapogo has fallen. The death of Kinki Tail is the clearest warning yet of the shift in power. The golden days of Mapogo began to waver. Majingilain continued to push deeper into the territory, forcing the remaining members to retreat. An era of dominance is gradually coming to an end. The vast territory that once belonged to Mapogo has now fallen into the hands of new rulers. The warriors who once terrorized the sands of Sabi are now scattered, wandering the lands they once ruled. One by one, Mapogo's territory fell into the hands of new rulers. The warriors who once spread terror now have to scatter in order to find a way to survive. Some continued fighting, while others were forced to abandon what they once possessed. In 2012, the wheel of survival turned once again. While wandering in search of territory, Mr. T was surrounded by 4 male lions from the Salati coalition. He stood there, alone, like a proud warrior until the very end. A final battle took place, but this time no one came to help. When the sun rose over the Sabi Sands plains, Mapogo lost its last member. Despite his death, the legend of Mapogo never faded. The story of the brave warriors who completely changed the rules of lion survival is still passed down from generation to generation. Today, male lions continue to form larger coalitions and learn Mapogo's tactics to survive. In the sands of Sabi, the cycle of power continues, but in the winds that blow across the plains, the roars of the great warriors of the past still seem to echo. The sun slowly set over the Mala Mala forest. The last rays of light filtered through the treetops, casting a pale yellow over the wilderness. In a sparse forest, amid the whisper of dry leaves, a solitary figure bowed its head beside the carcass of a wild buffalo. It was Makulu, the last Mapogo warrior. He was already old, his fur was torn, and his mane was no longer as thick and majestic as it once was. The scars on his body, every wound from the past, had now become marks of time. But even though age weighed on his shoulders, Makulu's eyes still shone with the resilience of someone who was once at the height of power. Each piece of buffalo meat was torn apart slowly, no longer with the haste of a young predator, but with the calm of an old lion who understood the laws of nature. He was in no hurry, because this was not just an ordinary meal, but also an exceptional moment to savor the spoils he had earned through experience and perseverance. Without his Mapogo brothers by his side, without the battles for territory, Makulu is now alone, living each day in the silence of nature. In the distance, vultures had begun to gather on the high branches, waiting patiently. A few hyenas hid among the bushes, watching from a distance, but they did not dare to come closer. Although Makulu is old, his reputation is still enough to make opportunists wary. The wild world is not for the faint of heart, and although he is no longer in his prime, Makulu is not a lion to be trifled with. A gentle breeze blew through the forest, carrying the scent of earth, dry grass, and the passage of time. No one knows where Makulu will go tomorrow, how many more prey he will have the strength to hunt, or if he will ever appear again. But right now, in the middle of the Mala Mala forest, he is still there, as part of history, as the last symbol of Mapogo. And as night slowly fell, only the whisper of the wind and the slow chewing of food by an old warrior enjoying the last peaceful moment of his life could be heard.